Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just want to take a quick moment with this video here and just kind of highlight some key things that I've noticed that has been circulating around with the news and even the XRP community when it comes to what's happening with Ripple. Now, of course, guys, we've heard a lot of news when it comes to China. I think China was part of the reason why we saw a nice little spike in the cryptocurrency market around 3 to 4 days ago. And of course, we've seen it taper off a little bit, maybe some consolidation happening in the market, but nonetheless, guys, China definitely helped ramp up the market right alongside of other news. And of course, I think news like this right here coming from Forbes, where we see that Ripple expands into Washington, D.C., that right there is going to help trigger a lot of attention when it comes to the cryptocurrency market, but more importantly for Ripple, the company, because we know that Ripple is most certainly expanding on a global scale. And as you can see here, they are now getting themselves embedded into Washington, D.C. This is a fantastic move considering all that we know about Ripple and their establishment and, of course, their reach when it comes to having met with different types of Congress members or Senate members, meeting with the White House themselves, and, of course, even Trump's administration. So, guys, this right here being a move to Washington, D.C. is very intriguing for Ripple. I would imagine it is the right move for them when it comes to being that much closer to regulatory infrastructure, and of course having that kind of close connection to a lot of the entities that are in Washington, D.C. And interesting enough, right alongside of this news here, we got reference from the CFTC that they're actually opening up what looks to be an independent office focusing more on their fintech lab. This is an article coming from Cointelegraph where we can see again, U.S. CFTC turns its fintech lab into an independent office in D.C. Very interesting timing when it comes to, again, them actually creating this in DC, and of course seeing Ripple move into DC just as well. So again, we're seeing a lot of expansion happening here, not just by Ripple, but bigger entities out there. Again, the CFTC creating a fintech lab and turning it into an independent office in DC. I mean, just again, the timing is very crazy, and of course I would imagine that all of this has to do with them knowing each other, kind of correlating everything in the right time frame, in the right manner, so that they can orchestrate things a little bit better. But again, I just found that it was very intriguing to see that we have Ripple expanding into Washington, D.C., and now again the CFTC is turning their fintech lab into an independent office in D.C. So again, interesting timing when it comes to this right here. A couple other things I want to quickly go over as well when it comes to timing. Now, interesting enough, and again, right alongside with the idea of timing, we're now seeing news and articles about the XRP transactions on the XRP Ledger, and right now they just recently shattered 1.6 million transactions, almost getting close to their all-time high of 1.7. That could actually happen relatively quickly, guys, in a very short amount of time. Now, what I want to actually bring your attention to in this article is what I feel like they're alluding to. If you can actually check this out, if you're watching this, they leave a little graph chart on this article on the Daily Huddle talking about, again, the 1.6 million transactions on the XRP Ledger. What they state is as far back as 2017, the end of 2017, going into 2018, when we experienced that nice bull rally where we saw $20,000 Bitcoin, $3.50 XRP. Yeah, that rally. Well, on that particular time frame of that rally, we actually saw on the XRP Ledger roughly around 1.7 million transactions taking place. Guys, we're now at 1.6 million. That means that we're getting close to our all-time high of transactions. Now the question is, not only is Ripple part of this, which I would say yes they are, but at the same time, this is right here is an impact from a lot of the development since the last all-time high. So a lot of things have actually come into play when it comes to, again, revamping what's happening in their Ripple's, not only their business sense, but of course creating new types of products, and of course working on their on-demand liquidity. So we're seeing a lot of updates with Ripple that would absolutely affect the XRP Ledger and those transactions on there. Again, the question now is, with us breaching up to the all-time high of transactions back in 2017 and 18, could we possibly see this affect the entire market? And then, of course, would this right here be leading us to believe that we could see a nice spike in XRP? That is the rumor at this point in time, guys, and I'm hopeful that's what we're seeing as far as, again, this information about the transactions currently on the XRP Ledger. Again, they're getting close to all-time highs from back in around 2017-18. So huge news when it comes to what's happening in the market, guys. A lot of things are most certainly ramping up, and my guess is that we're going to start seeing some very interesting things for the next 2 months of this year here. And of course 2020 is supposed to be at least a very exciting year for cryptocurrencies, but of course that's a lot of rumor just as well. I do have a couple other things I want to quickly go over. Now, interesting enough, with the previous knowledge that we have when it comes to China really kind of ramping things up and hopefully getting their digital currency to their people in a very quick manner, whether it's November or whether it's the beginning of 2020, the idea is that they are most certainly stepping up their game right alongside of other countries such as Russia and India. We have an article here from You Today kind of emphasizing that. And the community, the XRP community, has speculated that because of what's happening in these other countries there and them ramping up everything when it comes to getting themselves on board with cryptocurrencies and the digital assets that they want to actually focus on, we're starting to see questions being asked as to whether or not XRP will be involved, especially with what we know about the XRP ledger, because it can actually process transactions of different types of currencies back and forth, utilizing XRP as leverage and of course as liquidity. And that's basically the question being asked here in this article from You Today. Now, of course, it doesn't necessarily answer yes or no that is going to be the case for XRP being involved in any sort of way with these other countries. But guys, with what we know, and of course with all these other countries wanting to make sure that, I would imagine, wanting to be interoperable between each other, they're going to need to make sure that they do that in a fashion that works with their digital currency. And of course, if they have their own specific type of currency for their own country, then they need to at least find a way to make that interoperable. What better way than the XRP ledger, also utilizing XRP as leverage there. So again, something that a lot of the members of the community are asking, especially again seeing a lot of the news circulating around China and Russia and India getting themselves into this cryptocurrency ecosystem. So let me know what you guys think about this kind of news right here, whether or not you think XRP will be involved when it comes to what's happening on this grander scale here. A couple other things I want to quickly go over as well. Now, I actually am going to limit it to this last tweet here when it comes to the rest of this news, because I want to give a huge shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf. I haven't utilized his reference of information. He's definitely someone I would encourage everybody to follow just as well. He likes to alert the entire community of news and articles that are actually being published and released so that we're all on the same page, and he does a really good job summarizing. So again, give him a follow. But this right here was very encouraging to see, because we're seeing Ripple and SBI, a partner of Ripple, working hand in hand together as they always do, and creating new partnerships. And here we can see that Ripple and SBI's DLT, or the Distributed Ledger Technology MoneyTap, partnered with PayPay. And of course, PayPay will use MoneyTap's infrastructure to transfer money from banks to wallets directly. MoneyTap will expand to multiple operators and launch new services scheduled for full-scale development in 2019. So we still have some time, guys, with the rest of this year here to start seeing a lot of this come to fruition. But guys, things are most certainly ramping up. This is an article coming from A&B Crypto. Like I said, Crypto Wolf here, XRP Crypto Wolf, loves to go through and summarize this for us. He does a very good job of this. It is a very interesting read, but again, this is just letting you know the partnerships are most certainly taking place and making it easy for money to transfer back and forth at a very fast, rapid pace here. And again, this right here, PayPay will use MoneyTap's infrastructure to transfer money from banks to wallets directly. So again, real-time settlements here when it comes to money being transferred. This is the internet of value, the primary thing Ripple's been focusing on. So again, thank you for this, XRP Crypto Wolf, and for those who actually have, really alerted the XRP community with a lot of this news, keeping us all on the same page. Guys, there's a lot of news. I'm going to try to keep up with a lot of this as much as possible here. It is tough doing this right alongside of all the other outside activities and work that I have to do, but I am most certainly going to keep this up as much as possible. Thank you for being patient with me, and again, thank you for watching my videos. If you are new to this channel, please hit the like and subscribe button, and of course, thank you again for watching. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye bye.